The Athletic's David Ornstein is going to join us right now. Morning to you, David. Look, Hugo Lloris labelled Spurs' Europa League exit a disgrace. Leanne's just spoken about it there, how disappointing it must have been for them. Mourinho said they were beaten on attitude. How much pressure then is Jose under right now, do you feel?
Yeah, I think he's under a great deal of pressure, and I don't think that's something he's unfamiliar with in his career. I was really interested by the balance that Leanne brought to that, because in the last few days it just seems to be very binary, Jose in or Jose out, and I don't think it's that clear. Evidently, he takes a lot of responsibility for this, and not all is well there. But if you listen to the Lloris interview, that points the finger more at the dressing room than the dugout. And if things have gone wrong under Mauricio Pochettino towards the end, because there were cracks emerging, and we wrote about it at the time on The Athletic when he was sacked in the end, that not all was happy in that camp. And slightly contrary to what Leanne says there, I think there was a good chance that Pochettino would have left, actually, because it wasn't a completely rosy situation, although they had enjoyed their most historic match, really, in that Champions League final. But Mourinho has inherited something here that is quite tricky. A squad that was built by Mauricio Pochettino. They've had issues in the transfer market. They're in the middle of a pandemic now. He's not got the sort of players that he would need to succeed. And he has made mistakes himself. So it's a bit of a perfect storm at the moment, and all eyes are going to be on the League Cup final, aren't they?
David, a lot written about Mourinho's future. Still got just over 2 years left on his contract. Will he be there that long, in your opinion?
Well, yeah, I've reported that there's no break clause in the contract. Others have said some reporting to the contrary, and we can only say what we all hear, so that's fine. And if there's no break clause, then it's going to be incredibly expensive for Tottenham to get rid of one of the highest paid managers in world football. He's under contract until the summer of 2023, and I think Daniel Levy will be desperate for him to get through to the end of that contract and to bring success to Tottenham. It was the whole point in why Jose Mourinho was named as manager. We know clubs don't name him as their manager to bring a new style of football. It's to win trophies, and he's not done that so far. He may do at Wembley. Will that even be enough to save him? Because most Tottenham fans I speak to don't want him there anymore. They want a change of manager. But he certainly has support from the top of the club. He certainly has a pedigree in management that would suggest he should be given longer. I think he will be given longer. I don't think Tottenham are close to sacking him by any means. But they will need an uplift. They've got a big decision to make in the summer. And you know, especially in this climate, no fans in the stadium, that may convince Daniel Levy to go a little bit longer, but something needs to change. I'm not sure, after all of these conversations on Tottenham over the years, that it's necessarily to do with the managers. They've changed the managers. Could it be to do with the ethos in that playing squad, as Hugo Lloris is hinting at, or the structure within the club, which has brought them great success in terms of a new stadium and training ground and a higher profile and progress on the pitch? But is it bringing them what they really want in that silverware? They're not paying the salaries that they you would think they need to pay to compete with the likes of Manchester City and Liverpool, and they're not committing the transfer fees of any of the top Premier League clubs. And maybe they are where they sort of deserve to be in terms of their spending.
David, we touched upon it before about Lloris, hinting at disharmony in the squad after the defeat to Dynamo. Do you still think that Mourinho has the support of the players, or do you think that's gone down another route now?
Leanne, great question, and no doubt that some of the squad are not in favour of Mourinho. Some of the squad at most clubs are not in favour of the manager, especially if they're not in favour themselves, if they're on the bench or not even on the bench. And we've seen that situation at Tottenham with Dele Alli, with Harry Winks, with Ndombele until more recent times, various other players who have been pushed out of the picture and even loaned out in the case of the likes of Sessegnon and Foyth. And it's very interesting that those players did not leave permanently, despite having the clubs wanting to take them permanently, and that was because Daniel Levy probably saw them as future players for the club, whether Mourinho is there or not. Specifically on your question about the dressing room, if Hugo Lloris's comments are anything to go by, I don't think that it's necessarily an animosity from the players towards Mourinho, and he definitely has the backing of senior members like Harry Kane and Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, but certainly it's not a happy camp, whether it's towards Mourinho or not. Has he lost the dressing room? I don't think he has, but certainly there are questions about the way he's coaching them, the way he's managing them. issues around transfers as well that need to be resolved if Tottenham are going to get to where they want to go.
I'm guessing it's too early then to suggest that the club have started to think about possible replacements.
I think they're thinking about it, like most clubs would be at this level of football. Even lower down, clubs have contingency plans. They're scouting managers like they scout players these days. And that's why there have been credible reports about the likes of Julian Nagelsmann being on their radar, Ralph Hasenhüttl. They took that similar path when they took Mauricio Pochettino from Southampton. I'm sure these sort of names, the likes of Allegri and others, would be on their radar if they were to be making a change. But I don't think they're going to be making a change for now. It will be incredibly expensive, and I don't think Daniel Levy is ready to throw the towel in on Jose Mourinho. Those names will be added to depending on the market. The managerial market is a weird and wonderful place where people you're not expecting to become available suddenly do become available. People that you might have been expecting to go for, somebody like Nagelsmann, may, when Tottenham come to change manager, not be available. He's also very expensive to get out from RB Leipzig. There's no release clause there, and they're in a very healthy financial situation. So Daniel Levy's not naive enough not to be looking at managerial candidates, but that does not mean that Tottenham are set to make a change.
Just finally, we've got to ask you about Harry Kane's future. We discuss it a lot here. He cut a lone figure as he walked off the pitch on Thursday. It was quite a poignant picture, I felt, certainly. 28 this summer. Can you see him wanting to leave the club at all? Because a lot of people are split on this.
Yeah, I speak to a lot of people in football, and the consensus is that he would like to leave Tottenham, but he can't say that publicly. He's the captain. He's very committed while he's at the club, but he wants to go and win trophies. He's said that publicly. He's made it incredibly clear that he wants to be winning multiple trophies, the biggest trophies in football, and it doesn't look like he's going to be able to do that at Tottenham. So I think he would be open to a transfer. However, that's incredibly unlikely because Daniel Levy would want an astonishingly high figure for him. There are reports today of well in excess of £120 million just for Daniel Levy to even consider letting him go. And of course, Kane is under contract until 2024. He wouldn't want to sell to a rival. We know there's admiration from Manchester City. I think they made an inquiry of some level again last summer. They have him on their sort of top targets list with the likes of Haaland, Lukaku, which I've reported before, and various others. But he would be on the radar of all of the major clubs who shop in that sort of market. And I mean, it's going to come to a crunch at some point because Harry Kane, if he wants to go, he's going to have to express that to Tottenham. Otherwise, he may miss this opportunity to win the biggest trophies. He does seem to be getting better with age in terms of his productivity, but he also seems to be picking up more injuries. So it's a crucial juncture for him. Do I see him leaving Tottenham this summer? I think there may be a will from his side. There may be a will from clubs wanting to take him, but I don't think it will happen.
OK, brilliant stuff as always. Thank you, David.